Don't stop the cap. Eddie Hearn, you trying to spend this? Check this out. The first offer was was less than a third of what Boots made for David Abenesian. David Abenesian is only famous for getting beat by or getting knocked out by Bud. We was picking at David Abenesian. We was picking at his name and everything about David Abenesian before he fought Bud. Now all of a sudden David Abenesian is a name. It's the same thing I said about everybody got to be attached to a person, then they become a name. All right. So now your first offer was that, and it was literally just a little bit more than what you gave David Abenesian, and my son is a world champion. He brings to the table the exact same thing that Boots brings to the table. Boots doesn't bring anything more to the table than my son brings. It's a unification bout. He has his belt. My son has his belt. My son is taking all the chances. He's taking all the risks. You got it? So that's what you do. The second offer was less than half of what Boots made his last fight. The third offer was half of what Boots made his last fight. To be exact, damn near. It was literally half of what Boots made his last fight. So imagine what Boots is going to make in this unification bout. Considerably more than he just made in his last fight. So not speaking actual numbers, I'm speaking actual facts. You tell me I'm lying. That's what it was. You did not want to make this fight. The only reason you did this was to tell Boots and his team that you tried to make the fight. You did not make the fight. I gave Boza the numbers. I told Boza what the numbers was. Both know that's some bullshit.
You know what, it's frustrating because you hear everything that Brian Norman Senior or his daddy's saying, and none of it really makes sense. Like if this is a really simple situation. The first offer that was made to Brian Norman was nicely over $1 million. They said that they felt that, not insulting, but was nowhere near. We've made 2 more offers, $250,000 every time now, to levels that Brian Norman will never see. And it's like, we keep getting told we're close, then we go back and make another offer, and then we're told by his team that we're actually not that close. And I start to think, Brian Norman, do you want this fight, or are you clout chasing, or as the others might say over here, cap, or whatever it is?
Not sure if that works, but
not sure it is either. But it's like, do you want to be great, Brian Norman? Like, not being funny, who is Brian Norman? I know Brian Norman's a good fighter, but no one knows who Brian Norman is. We're giving you a bucket load of money and an opportunity for you to unify the division against, in my opinion, one of the top pound for pound fighters in the world. Now you say Boots is overrated. You say he's not the bogeyman. Then why wouldn't you take this bucket load of money to prove that you're the best welterweight in the world? So let's just stop with the interviews online. We've gone back 3 times now with more money, to a point, like, with all due respect to Brian Norman, he shouldn't be making this kind of money. But we're ready and we're prepared to pay him it. And then we get told, oh, you're miles off. It's like, we just saw an interview with this guy saying we're right close. We've just gone back with another $250,000, and now you're telling us we're miles away. So I don't believe the bullshit of Brian Norman and the team. If you want the fight, you would have taken the fight. And now, we're in a situation where the IBF, which is absolutely ridiculous, has ordered Trudezian to fight the rematch. Listen, the kid's a good fighter. Boots has already beaten him. The IBF have got to stop with this. They're ruining boxing by ordering fights that people really don't want to see, especially when he's already beaten him. So we may vacate the belt and we may do something different because Boots has got to prove to the world how great he is. We may fight Trudezian and we might just get it out of the way. But Brian Norman has missed the boat, and now he's got to go and fight someone for peanuts that no one's ever heard of. Boots is alright, Boots is on a fortune. But Brian Norman had the chance to prove himself as a superstar, and they dropped the ball. And I hate all this stuff. The dad's going on, giving these interviews, and you're not even in a conversation. We've never had a conversation with a dad. Very frustrating. Brian Norman.